Thank you, Michelle. It's such an honor to be here today with such a terrific group of poets and writers. And I really appreciate the opportunity. So I'll just jump right in. I'll be reading from When Blackberries Grew Wild. When I was but a child. When I was but a child, I saw the Red Sea after a long journey down the mountainside, and blackberries grew wild, and people planted them new in their gardens. Be still, said a voice, be free. And the berries struggled, and the gardens had snakes. But then get up and go forward. And from the dock, with the snakes that could talk, with the thick green moss on the pilings, one predicament after another, with gulls flying overhead. Ha, ha, I gazed out over the sea. Open, shut. I'm standing on the porch of the house I came home to when I was born, in old Miami, where my full-bodied grandmother rocked me on the porch swing, snuggling me to her bosom. Open, shut, sleep, little baby. I'm looking at the black and white photo of myself, time-bombed, my platinum hair short, gazing over my left shoulder, down the street toward the avenue and Alapata, past the pony rink on the corner, across the band field and the high school, the coconut palms around the yard, the ringer washer on the back porch, caught in the beauty of the always astounding moment. Knowing then and every day after, the only thing I'll ever know, every moment is a lifetime. Night in the country, stepping into a trailer in the middle of nowhere, in a shapeless open yard under night stars. I desire to stay here, in the morning to go out into it, to be taken up by the ragged grass and hungry air. Now under your wild moon-like face, your television face, trying into limbs unfamiliar as prehistory, our odd, strange bodies wanted over and over. Next, the desolate ride home from nowhere. I loved you. At first, I loved you for being an asshole, for being insane. The man before you ate bananas and Cheerios every AM for 18 years. The one before him watched TV afternoons in baby blue pajamas, legs out in front on the coffee table. You went to the Bahamas right after I met you and brought me a lucky monkey. One of those nights, we stood outside your trailer under the pines in the moonlight. Just before I drove away under the starlight, I said, asshole, you asshole. Now the lucky monkey lies on my night table on top of a book like a sacrificial pile. He is made of green rubber with a red face, an apple in his right hand. Earlier tonight, I left a note on the seat of your car on white notebook paper, asshole, asshole. Later, I drove past your car in the parking lot of a local bar. You did not see me. You were wearing a white shirt and a puke green car. I could see you were insane. Under the moon, you were an asshole. I loved you. I drove away. Going to work. I drank my coffee this morning. Then on the way to work, I hit a dog. When I got to work, I thought about wearing perfume and getting a haircut. I finished my coffee and turned on the air conditioning because it smelled bad in there. Later, I watched a fat lady walk toward me wearing tight red pants. I went out for a walk and saw a girl in red dolphin shorts. I thought about buying a t-shirt because I saw it in the window when I walked past. Later, I stopped for a croissant. I thought about hitting the dog. I thought about how I had fantasized carrying the dog up and down the street. but how I actually found the owner right away out walking. When I got to work, my hair was still wet and I was an hour late. Ce n'est pas. My cat. My cat isn't really my cat. I suppose that's not true, so I've started out right off telling a lie. He's been living with me for 5 years now. After Russ died, White Cat lived in the country before moving in here. Every night now, he stands on my chest and looks me seriously in the eye. And I know he is God there, white in his fur, confronting me with my life. We are so tied to the dead, he says, and I feel my heart contract in my chest. My eyes well up. My throat mimics my heart. You are here on the earth, he says, and I see you. I'm here every night to remind you of what you know and what you don't, that you can touch God, that death is peaceful, that I too will leave and not come back. His white fur is his crown, a light blazing behind it. He is heavy on my chest, so I know he means it. That you can make a fist with your hand and punch it through the opaque sky and perhaps understand. It's so easy. I am there, you see. Dear pen, my wrist is stiff, my fingers frozen. I am counting on you. Let it flow. Let words appear in ink on the page. Let meaning appear. Spill my restless heart, my shadowy soul on the page so I can see them. So I can see more than I think I see. This field, this heart, this modeled history, this to and fro. Oh, pen, to you falls the difficulty, the unruly task of lifting the shadow of our blind eye. Tip Top Cafe. They all shooed their way through the door, high heeling or sneakering to breakfast house counters and stools, shirting up to tables, shoestringing their orders to a light-footed waiter, noting his shiny wingtips are clacking as he relished their menu choices. And they trousered and necklaced into conversation, belting and talking and heart pounding, shoveling the cafe a twittering, tables fast cluttering, colorful with plates, forks, eggs, toast, sugar spinning, spoons bouncing, they aglow with hilarity and chatter, ankle straps, boots, toes, feet ankled under tables and chairs, elbows, hands, arms gesticulating, faces painted, decorated, brown, pink, girls summering in birds and florals, guys au courant, hep, shuffling, hair blissant, long or chic, wildly loving, as they laughed, frowned churlishly, barking into the day, immersing themselves deeply into the immediacy of the cafe. And last poem. But I moved that. Flying to Asmara. I am deep in the back seat, small, my mother beside me, holding my brother, who is 2.5. It's cold, and I'm wrapped in a blanket. I hear the loud plane engines and smell a metallic smell everywhere. Soldiers are scattered around, some walking in the aisles. My dad is behind us, singing softly, sounding like he's on the radio. He sang as he carried me onto the plane, "Baby, it's cold outside," and snowing the white flakes all around us. Outside the little windows, I can see the clouds. Sometimes they bring us cold chicken in boxes. My mom is patient, silent, and quiet, exhausted from holding my brother in her lap. He's funny sometimes. He wants to know what the clouds are and would like to touch them. He thinks they look soft, and wonders why they are floating. We've been flying a long time since the last time we got off the plane, beginning in New York, then Greenland, the Azores, Tripoli, Cairo, Eritrea. Once when we get off the plane, we have to run to the hotel through a sandstorm that stings our skin, and we all are screaming. My dad is running too, shepherding us to this distant place where he will be adjutant at a military base called Radio Marina, a 1950s outpost of America the Beautiful, an outpost of the Cold War, high on a plateau above the Red Sea. 2 children and parents flying in military air transport planes across 3 continents and oceans, across a lifetime to a beautiful, magical place, just a beginning. None of us knows what will happen. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.